Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the defining qualities of the nakshatras. So guys, I already have uploaded a comprehensive, elaborative playlist on the nakshatras where I covered like all the nakshatras from the point of view of the god which presides over it, the element, the specific qualities of the devata connected with that planet. But definitely because it's been so long since I have uploaded my work on nakshatras, and I have that to-do list in my mind where I'll be very soon covering up all the planets placed in specific nakshatra as well. And just because I'm already going through the course of Vastu and Numerology from Bharati Vidya Bhavan, so I'll be blending lot many things, and also I have lot many guests which are scheduled to come on my channel. So there's a lot there in the pipeline, but just because I thought, because it has been so long since I have had exclusive discussion on the nakshatras, so in just 3 simple videos we can cover all the 27 nakshatra. We can look into the gist of the functioning of the nakshatras. And definitely guys, let's say for example, if while covering any nakshatra which is your moon nakshatra as well, if there are like any certain specific qualities which comes to you naturally, which I have not included in this summary, so you can please feel free to write that in the comment section as well. It is a learning platform, it will definitely contribute a lot. So yes guys, like the way I mentioned, take this video from the point of view of your moon being placed in this nakshatra. And because 27 nakshatras can be divided into 3 cycles as well. So this is going to be the first cycle where we will start with the like Ketu nakshatra Ashwini, and we will cover till the Mercury's nakshatra, which is the Ashlesha. So guys, starting first with the Ashwini nakshatra. So the traits which I have written over here, which will be very predominant in your thought process, in your thinking process, in your life, if your moon is going to be placed in this nakshatra, are first of all, these natives tend to remain very quick in all of their endeavors. Now when I say quickness, this could be quickness in your thought process, in your thinking, the way you act, you respond in any given situation. You will definitely find a very like agility and quickness over there. Second point which I have written is that a lot many times it has been seen that people who have their moon in the Ashwini nakshatra, they take a lot of interest in vehicles and driving. Now this could be a case that you are doing that as a part of your profession, or this could be a case that driving, going on a long drive tend to act very therapeutic for you. It tend to remain very relaxing for you. So is that true in your case in any form? Or this could be a case that because it is your moon nakshatra, you might be born in a family where you have inherited the car, mobile, like automobile, auto parts business from your parents. So whatsoever is the case, but generally it has been seen some sort of interest in vehicles and driving. Third point which I have written over here is that attractive personality and heightened interest in retaining their youth. So definitely guys, because when it comes down to the Ashwini nakshatra, it is the very first nakshatra of the zodiac belt. So we generally, it has been seen that people who have their moon nakshatra to be Ashwini, their personality tend to remain very attractive. They find it very easy to become a center of attention. And this could be a case that because of their physical traits or features, because of the childlike innocence in their persona, in their personality, in their thought process, the way they talk, so they easily become center of attention, and definitely they generally give heightened interest in retaining their youth for long. After that guys, they never forget the route. Now just because there is a lot of emphasis on the driving, and even the animal which is connected with this nakshatra is a horse. And we know this thing that from the ancient times, horse has been used as the chief mode of transportation. So it has been generally seen that they never forget the route. They are very soft spoken, and they tend to have very beautiful eyes. After that, if in job, they get respected for their talents. So now this is something which you have to write in the comment section. Has it been the case? Or let's say for example, wherever you have gone to work, you have not get along well with your bosses, and they have always done the nitpicking for your work. So but generally what has been found, in the lives of people who have their moon in the Ashwini Nakshatra, that they get respected for their talents in their job, or this could be in their business as well. And there's one more point which has been found, that they tend to remain very vulnerable for falling prey to bad company. Now, just because there is an influence of the energy of the planet Mars as well, and whenever there is a amalgamation and blend of the Mars and the Ketu energy, because Ashwini is being ruled by the Ketu, so Mars and Ketu energy is a proper combination of explosion. So generally it has been seen that they tend to remain vulnerable towards falling prey to bad company. Now guys, over here it hardly matters. Your moon nakshatra in itself is so potent, so powerful to create that whole energy. Like, trust me, you'll be surprised that, like, the way we say this thing, that if your moon is in the Sadvisha nakshatra, these people tend to create a fortress around them and guard themselves from any external interference. Like in my case, my moon is surrounded by all the benefic planets, but the innate quality of the nakshatra always predominate in the life of the person, whether native is willing to accept that or not. So irrespective of the fact, whenever people look at my chart superficially, oh, you have moon placed and conjunct with all the benefic planets in the 11th house, you would have a very wide circle of friends. That is true, but because the energy of Sadvisha definitely makes me guard myself, so the energy of the moon nakshatra always has a major say. So it hardly matters that that whether your moon nakshatra or your moon is being guarded by the benefic planets, like moon is surrounded by, being aspected by benefic planets like Jupiter, but still the tendency or latent potential will still remain there. After that guys, they are very adept in making social contacts, and they are very cautious of their public image. Apart from that, these natives tend to remain very fearless, and they have this potential for acting as a crusader against any injustice, raising their voice against any injustice. Next point is, driven by surge of emotions and impulse, they are very prone towards doing wrong things. So because, like the way you would have understood the gist of the energy of this nakshatra, where there is a lot of the impulse which is attached with it. So definitely the energy of Mars and Ketu functioning many times makes them end up doing things driven by the surge of the emotions, which are not very right, or later on they by themselves regret it. Apart from that guys, a connection with medicine, healing, and like it has been generally seen, even if they are not operating or working as a doctor, as an astrologer, any field where you are advising remedies to people, so they tend to act as a self-acclaimed medicine men as well. Like you go to any small towns, countryside, where there is a guy in that village who is been seen as a shaman, as a medicine man, so all those potential tend to remain with the Ashwini natives. So again guys, I have reached the end of this slide. So if your moon nakshatra is Ashwini, if all these is getting valid in your case, write it in the comment section. Or if there's something specific which defines you. Now I'm not interested in that what is your ascendant, which planets are conjunct with your moon. In short and individually, stand alone. If this is your moon nakshatra, if apart from all of this, if there is something unique and specific in your life, please write it in the comment section. Now guys, moving ahead. Now when we talk about the Bharani nakshatra, so guys, definitely we already have had our discussion on which like planet is connected with it, which is Venus, or the god of time and death, Yam, is connected with it. We already have had our discussion. Now I'll be just focusing on the gist of the functioning of this nakshatra if it is your moon nakshatra. So point number one is that heightened interest in feminine subjects or woman useful products. Now this could be that now guys, it hardly matters, you do not even have to be only a female for this to be getting applicable in your case. Even being a male, this could be a case that you have a ladies cosmetic products store which you are operating, or you are predominantly operating in a domain or of a field which caters to the need of the females or of the women. So interest in these lines, or this could be your profession, this could be your livelihood as well. Second point is that love to have deep and long sleeping hours, and fond of good food, though in less quantity. So does that happen to you? If this is what your moon nakshatra, that you prefer to have very deep and long sleeping hours, and along with that you are very, when it comes down to your taste buds, so food has to be of a specific taste, specific ingredient, the way it is going to be served, and the quality and everything. So are you very fond of or very particular about these things? Now in their case, Burni natives do not tend to remain very glutton, but definitely they are the ones who eat less, but it has to be of good food as per their liking. Third point which I have written, diligent and dedicated to their promise, commitment and word. So that in itself means that definitely the Venusian qualities comes into picture, that they are very sociable, and the good part is that the dedication and intensity which they provide in their promises. So beyond doubt they are very dedicated, they are very hardworking, they are diligent, but yes, their commitment, promises and word matters a lot to them. Apart from that, they are very adept in extracting money. So this could be a case that we say this thing in Hindi, Sam Dam Dan Bhet, whatsoever means. Now over here I'm not talking about through illegitimate means, or here I'm not talking about scamming someone. Here I'm saying that if they have given some service to you, they know how to get the right price or right value of it. So that in itself makes them very good negotiator. They could be very good salesperson as well, where they know how to extract the money out of the pocket of someone of the rightful talent or services which they have provided or what they deserve. Along with that, they are very caring towards friends and ruthless to enemies. So guys, this is certain qualities which you will find not only in Bharani but also in the Adra nakshatra. Like there are lot many other nakshatra, but yes, with Bharani it has been mentioned that they are very dear, loving, tender friends to their friends, and they could be very harsh and very ruthless to their enemies. So they know how to respond in equal measures with the equal intensity to the way they have been dealt with or the way have been treated. Now guys, the next points, definitely guys, even the symbol of this nakshatra is of a female reproductive organ. So there's a heightened sensuality in their personality beyond doubt, and what defines them is their beautiful, innocent looking face, and they know how to catch the attention of their romantic interest. So now definitely depending on your sexual orientation, if you are interested in men, so you know how to dress up, how to behave, or there is that sort of spark and kind of energy in you which knows how to get the attention of the men. Or if you are interested in women, so you know how to get the attention of the woman. So that is something which comes very naturally to them. Apart from that, there's a potential for aggressiveness as well, like the way I mentioned, because of the ferociousness of the energy of the devata which preside over it. So they know how to hit hard in case of that when situation needs to be instigated and they have to be on a very aggressive upper edge. They know how to act with aggression, and it has been generally seen that now guys over here you have to add whatsoever is like getting applicable in your case, if this is what your moon nakshatra is, because it has been generally found that they might have extra body fat around the waist area or around their bums. And second thing is that there is generally some birthmark around the waist area. So if this is what your moon nakshatra is, do you have any sort of birthmark around the waist area? Now generally guys, because in lot many cases, because Bharani has to do with the childbirth, with the conceiving a child, and generally for the cesarean cases now the technology has advanced, but all those people who used to have cesarean or anything, they used to be mark over there or around the waist, around lower to the waist area, I mean to say, but in whatsoever form, it has been generally found that around that area or close to the waist area they will have some sort of birthmark. Along with that guys, Bharani is considered as very good in accumulating and taking good care of things. Like they could be very good because bharan, it means to possess, to conceive, to make it grow, to nurture it, to nourish it. So because of that, they are very good in accumulation of things and taking good care of them as well. Along with that, they are very good in they have this knack for collecting rare, exquisite things and amassing money. So they could be very good hoarder. They could be very good in taking care well of things and amassing things. Now guys, along with that, lover of good humor and entertainment, little fearful of water, crave for becoming successful in least possible time. So definitely guys, they could be very humorous as well, and I have seen this thing working out in lot many cases, and that is the only reason it makes these people very fun to be around. Like if you have a Bharani moon person as your friend, as your lover, as your girlfriend, as your neighbor, in whichever capacity, their energy and their aura is very uplifting, very positive, very relaxing. So, and along with that, it has been generally seen that they could be little bit fearful of water. So is that getting applicable in your case? Write it in the comment section. And they also crave for becoming successful in least possible time. Now guys, next point is that their behavior sometimes gives them a lot of opposition or enmity. So now this could be a case that the kind of sensual charm which they have around them in their persona, or this could be a case that the energy of the yama, so sudden outburst and anger, a lot many times this sort of behavior might give them a lot of opposition or enmity. And lastly, it has been generally seen that God forbid if there is a situation where they have to lie, so they lie very cautiously. You will not be able to spot it or sniff it. So yes guys, this is about the Bharani, and whatsoever is getting applicable in your case, if this is what your moon nakshatra is, please write it in the comment section. Now guys, when we talk about the Kritika nakshatra, so guys, Kritika, definitely we all know it is being ruled by the planet Sun, and Agni or the fire god is strongly connected with it. Now the gist of the energy of this nakshatra which I have written over here is that they are very critical and known for revealing the bitter truth. So like they are like those things which we do not want to hear, but if someone who is strongly in the prominence of the Kritika, he will not hesitate in spilling it out. Now this could be if you're operating as a journalist, this could be a part of your line of work, but yes, you have this capacity to talk about all those issues which no one else is talking about. There is a vulnerability towards indigestion, gas and spicy foods. Now you have to write that in the comment section if it is getting applicable in your case. Interest in fire related activities, medical expertise in some field. So this could be a case that you're working as a firefighter, or you're working in the fields of construction, or you're working as a carpenter, or in whichever form, but you deal with fire as your occupation, as your livelihood, and along with that, medical expertise in some field. Along with that guys, they could be very wise, charismatic, moody, center of attention amongst females. So these are certain qualities which has been generally seen working out in their case. Now when I say center of attention amongst females, so over here it hardly matters whether the Kritika nakshatra is falling in your case in the Aries region or it is falling in the Taurus region, but generally it has been seen that they tend to remain very lucky in having good female followership as well. Along with that guys, issues with dryness, whiteness or the hair fall, the quality of the hair, it has been generally seen, and this is a specific trait which is found even for those people who have sun being placed in their first house. They tend to get very bald very quickly in their life, the hairline receding. So now focusing only on your moon nakshatra. If your moon nakshatra is Kritika, so some dryness of the hair, hairs turning very white a bit prematurely, or the hair fall issues. Along with that, they tend to have very strong appetite, and there is a potential for very aggressive maneuvers in their body language, in their demeanor. Along with that guys, the other points which I have written, familiarity with the sculptural art, Shilp Kala. So some sort of familiarity with the sculptural art. They could be very influential, very charismatic. They are very efficient, irascible. Like a lot many times it has been seen that they could be very easy to come to anger, very quick to anger. So very easily annoyed, irritated, and the sensual aspect also tend to remain very strong. Now this could be a case that it will predominate if it is Kritika is your moon nakshatra but falling in the Taurus region. Along with that, guys, vulnerable towards body wounds or tattoos, or this could be bone, like at some point in your life you might have got some fracture, your bone got displaced, got broken, but yes, some sort of fracture and vulnerability towards body wounds, or in the modern day context, body tattoos. Now guys, the next point and the last point for the Kritika is highly cultured, capacity to generate good wealth, fond of travels, good in editorial works, and very hard hitter with their words. So if it is getting applicable in your case, it's fine. If it's not, or there is something unique which you perceive or which you possess in your personality, do write it in the comment section. Now guys, when we talk about the Rohini Nakshatra, so definitely guys, when it comes down to Rohini, the creator god Brahma is connected with it, moon is connected with it, but the defining qualities, so again, involvement in vehicles. This could be in any capacity: production, racing, renting business, or merely passion. Like driving is very therapeutic, it's very relaxing for you, or you're born in a family that you have a family business of automobile spare parts or a vehicle renting business or something. So in some capacity, involvement in vehicles, along with that, involvement in sports, in farming, large scale management of competitive exams, or something to do with the construction work. Second point is that they generally get very less support from their maternal side relations. Like in Hindi we call it as from the mama side. So they get less support from their maternal side relations. They are very efficient, they are very good with the usage of their words, and they are also very smart and very adept in the psychological assessment of others. Whomsoever they will be talking, they'll be able to get into the depth of the psychological state of that person as well. The next point is that they have very attractive personality, fashionable, romantic, interest in sex. Now when I say interest in sex or intercourse, so that does not make them kind of get into illegitimate relationship and all. So they are very loyal, they have got very strong and very pure character, but yes, within the relationship, sexual compatibility and intimacy matters a lot for them. Now guys, the next points for the people who have moon in the Rohini Nakshatra, they could be very ambitious, very progressive, and self-motivated thought process. So these are among those people who have certain list of things which they want to do, accomplish, or achieve in the life, and they do not need much of the external impetus, external thrust. So the motivation comes deep from within. So they are very self-motivated and they want to progress in the life. Like they do not want to stay dormant in a specific position, like the way someone who has joined on a position and he has remained in that position for a long span of time. So they want to progress in the life, and generally they tend to remain and have very self-motivated thought process. Along with that, they are very practical and very well behaved in worldly dealings. So this nakshatra is considered as very good for business because of this reason only. They are very in Hindi there is a word called Vyavhar Kushal. They are very good in the management of the worldly dealings. At some point in the life, they would have been a good athlete or sports person. Now this could be a case that you want to be a sports person, you are a sports person, but you are doing something else. Now you have your car renting business, but there was a stage in your high school or during your college graduation time period when you were competing in some national level sporting event or something. So it has been generally found very predominantly in the case of the people who have got their moon in the Rohini Nakshatra. Along with that, guys, artistic interest and very devoted towards domestic harmony. So there are like certain nakshatra like Rohini, like Pushya, which are considered as very good for the domestic harmony. Like they are very much devoted towards the family life, towards their partner, spouse, parents, children. Along with that, guys, wealthy, in control over their instincts, sensory temptations, perseverance, relaxed and very enjoyable gait. So I will summarize over here, explain. Wealthy, definitely it's a very good nakshatra for the generation of wealth. They are in control over their instincts and sensory temptation. So you will not find these people to be slave to their instincts. There is a strong potential and capacity to be in control and command over their instincts, over their sensory temptations. And definitely these are among those people who are very, like they're very goal driven. The degree and intensity of putting consistent efforts towards their goals you will find in the energy of this nakshatra. Along with that, guys, what defines them is they have very relaxed and very enjoyable kind of walk, kind of gait, which sets them apart from the other nakshatras. Now, guys, when we talk about the Mrigashira nakshatra being ruled by the planet Mars. So guys, when we talk about the energy of the Mrigashira, so over here the energy of the Soma planet Moon also gets attached over here. So the gist of the qualities of this nakshatra I have mentioned over here are hear it from the point of view if this is what your Moon nakshatra is. So the point number one is they are very easily influenced. They are like very gullible. In their case, being mentored by the right set of teachers, guru becomes very important in their life. So they are very tender hearted but smartly create an illusion of fearless persona in the world. So like the case is deep inside they could be very hard, their heart could be very tender, very soft, little bit tendency of getting or being little bit fearful as well. But while meeting them or the way they are conducting themselves, they are presenting themselves, you cannot sense that out. So yes, a little bit tender hearted but very smartly they create an illusion of a fearless persona in the world. Now the second point is that the tendency to be little bit flirtatious or little bit sensual tend to remain as a part of their personality. So flirtatious, sensual, easily getting smitten by the charm of the opposite sex or the same sex depending on your sexual orientation. But yes, there is a strong tendency and potential to be easily charmed by someone. So over there discipline, balance needs to be followed. A lot many times it has been found that these people could be daydreamer as well, like in their own head, in their own mind, in their own lala world. They could be very expert in creating excuses or dilly-dallying, just postponing, procrastinating things. That is the only reason, guys, I started with the gist of this nakshatra, that this nakshatra strongly needs to be under the influence of a proper teacher, trainer, or a very elevated sort of well-wisher. Now guys, next point is that it has been generally found, because Mars eventually roots it, that some sort of interest in weapons and expertise in warfare or some specific sport. So this could be a case that, when we see all those Red Bull people who are doing those sort of daredevil stunts and all, some of them or one of the athlete could be in the influence of the Mrigashira nakshatra only. Now guys, they are very fond of long sleeping hours, fickleness in the thought process, driven to laziness and slave to sensory organs. So like the way I mentioned, there are like certain nakshatras over there you will find that they are in complete command and control over their instincts, over the sensory organs. But in the case of Mrigashira, heightened possibility of being a slave to their sensory organs. Now definitely guys, it depends on individual to individual. If you are you have been initiated into any spiritual path where discipline, decorum, restraining your senses is needed. Over there, this native will suffer a lot. But let's say, for example, you're living in the western part of the world, you're making good money, and you have a very hedonistic kind of lifestyle. But the point over here is that in today's modern day context, this nakshatra has got this potential to give you a life filled with enjoyment and sensory pleasure. So all of that is possible with the energy of this nakshatra. Now guys, it has been generally found that these people could have body tattoos or injury marks on their body, which could have happened because of some accident or while dealing with the weapons or being a part of any adventure sport or something. And they are considered as very stern and very ferocious speaker. Some other points. So yes guys, mostly this is what I have written about them. So the gist is that interest in weapons, expertise in warfare or sports, but overall the gist of this nakshatra has got more to do with being fickle, and they have to be under the guidance of a right mentor. Now guys, when we talk about the Adra nakshatra being ruled by the like planet Rahu and being under the influence of the Lord Shiva in the form of the Rudra. So the defining qualities or the gist of this nakshatra are, which will be prominent if this is what your Moon Nakshatra is. Generally proven amateur in business. This nakshatra energy is not considered as very practical savvy for commercial or business expertise. Capacity to single-handedly tackle the crowd of opponents. Now guys, this is what defines these people. Like the way in lot many cases we have seen these things, that in a school or college, like something happened, or in the case of the riots and something, where there is one formidable person who is single-handedly handling the big crowd of bullies or opposition. That person might be under the influence of the Adra. Now Adra has got this innate potential and capacity to have that persona, have that energy around them, which is very easy to intimidate the weak-hearted people. They could be very stern, they could be very rebellious as well. Definitely the flavors of the Rahu energy. They are very protective of their self-respect, their image. So very swabhiman, we call that in Hindi. They struggle in being a part of the team. Like they are generally considered as a lone wolf. They are extremely formidable towards weak. Like the way the modern day context where we say, you know, that guy is a bully. That guy dominated me a lot in my high school days. That person might be under the influence of the Adra. They are very easily to spot in a crowd. Like you go to college, you go to school, or even in any of the sales team, you will see someone who's got very bullying, very dominating nature. So that is Adra. Again guys, over here I'm not only talking about being a leader, I'm talking about little bit the flavors of the autocracy. Along with that, a dual attitude towards opposite sex. So this has been generally seen, like I can fairly relate all these qualities with one of my very good friend in my high school days. So now this guy, he used to all the time talking about girls, all the time. And when being faced or in front of them, he just mocking them, making their fun. So I do not understand, like if you are actually so much interested in someone, you will try to impress that person while giving compliments, right? What sort of psychology is it to mock someone, ridicule someone, make fun, and then expect them to like you? But in his case, he always used to end up getting that results. Surprisingly, this could be the energy of the Adra, that no matter how much he is mocking them, eventually girls are gonna like him more. So yes, that is the case, that dual attitude towards the opposite sex. Striving for their approval from far, but mocking them in person. They could be reservoir of emotions and feelings within, but raging storm externally. So yes guys, when it comes down to their kind-heartedness and their capacity to feel, like there's a storm of emotions which is always going within them, but on an external way, if you will notice them, like if you do not know them, if you're not very good friends with them, so you will definitely see them like, oh my god, this guy is all the time giving tantrums, giving outbursts, suddenly bursting out. but deep within this person has got a surge of emotions going on within him, which definitely makes them very loyal, very empathetic. The only reason I mentioned that he was a very good friend of mine because he was very emotional, he was very loyal and trusted friend, but he used to get along well with me because I was also a typical Mars and Rahu person. But when it comes down to others, sensitive, tender hearted, he used to bully them a lot. So yes, so reservoir of emotions and feelings within, but raging storm externally. Their best comes when whole power is concentrated at them, or when being in a leadership role. They could be very scientific, very technical, very intelligent, very logical, beyond and far away from superstition. So very rarely you will find Adra natives to be falling prey to superstition and all. They are very scientific, they are very technical driven, and very easy to get equipped or get their hands on latest gadgets, latest technology and all. So they are very good in that. And beyond doubt, they are very intelligent, they are very intuitive, they are very logical. Next point is they are very generous, kind-hearted, loyal, disciplined, and helpful. Next point is that driven to moods and whims. So definitely guys, moodiness is something which defines them. They are definitely very unpredictable, and it is very difficult to measure the scale on which they will respond. And definitely I said moody, in their case, if they are happy, they will put everything at their disposal to pamper you. But if disgruntled, if they are unhappy with you, they might even fail to recognize you on your face. They take everyone and everything accountable and respond friendship, favors, or enmity, betrayal accordingly at right opportune time. So yes guys, it has been generally seen in their case that they never forget, they remember everything, and they're like a inactive volcano from inside. So once they have faced the person who has harmed them, or kind of did something wrong to them, so they have this capacity to wait for the right opportune time or moment and then blast out in front of that person, like almost kill that person with their reaction, with their responses, with the sort of things which were lying dormant within them, those sort of emotions against that person for legitimate reasons, the way they were being mistreated or betrayed. So that is the kind of potential which they hold. But the good thing is that they respond in equal measure to the favors and to the friends as well who have helped them. And lastly guys, they measure someone on the scale of their character and conduct. So apart from all of these things, if there is something special or unique which you have, which comes naturally to you, please write it in the comment section. Now guys, when we talk about the Punarvasu Nakshatra, so the points which I have written over here, Punarvasu Nakshatra being ruled by the planet Jupiter, and the mother of the gods Aditi being connected with it. So guys, the gist of the energy of this nakshatra which will be predominant in the life of someone who has got his or her Moon Nakshatra to be Punarvasu is many failures followed by mega success. So life actually goes through a lot of ups and downs. So relapses, falling and rebounding tend to remain their carved destiny. Point number 2, possibility of remarriage, second marriage, ups, downs in matrimonial life, like tendency to experiment, transform, or crave for newness in the matters of love life is seen. Vulnerability towards extramarital or live-in relationship. So all of that which I have mentioned, again guys, it all depends on the country, culture, era, personality. All these kind of things might be a accepted norm in the West, but in certain traditional communities it is still judged upon or looked down. So over there you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Now it has been generally seen that with this nakshatra energy, they get less respect in the family life, and the major portion of their life is exhausted in the establishment of domestic harmony, settlement, or getting that equilibrium. Like the way there are like those cases who in their lifetime they built and they did lot many things. And like there is one person, his majority of the life is just spent in battling with the domestic life related issue. So this could be one of those people. Now guys, the other points which I have mentioned, exotic or very different, unique taste in food and drinking. They are very fond of amassing gold because of the energy of the Jupiter. This could be their gait, the way they walk, they could be spotted very easily because they are very fast walker. They possess very strong and good business acumen. Temptation towards some specific form of intoxicant has been seen. Now this could be case that this could be smoking, this could be drinking, but some sort of, or in certain communities the some addiction to coffee or tea as well. But yes, there is a temptation towards addiction towards some specific form of intoxicant. Apart from that guys, they definitely want to look very upscale, modern, or enabled with latest trends. There has been seen that they experience fluctuation in their prestige or public image a lot, ups and downs. And yeah, they are very opportunistic and opportunistic for their own good. They know how to encash on any opportunity. The major problem is experienced only in their domestic life. Outside of their home, in all other avenues, you find them successful and a very strong contender for success. Now guys, when you talk about the Pushya Nakshatra, definitely being ruled by the planet Saturn, one of the best nakshatra in the whole zodiac belt. So if someone who has got a Moon Nakshatra to be Pushya, the points which I have mentioned, potential to bring glory and reputation to the family name or lineage. They are very easily adjust in joint families or big families, favorable for childbirth or many children. So many good qualities are attached with this nakshatra. Second point is that potential to remain nourished with a good physical, mental and financial health in life. They tend to have very strong interest in religious activities. They are very dutiful towards family, parents, being respected by their juniors, subordinates or staff members in the business. Could have commercial interest in banking, herbs, Ayurveda, home decor, real estate, pilgrimages, wedding planning and all the religious priest connected work, puja, any of those sanskaras and all. So if this is what your Moon Nakshatra is, are you connected with all these fields which I have just mentioned? Write it in the comment section. Guys, trust me, the power of the Moon Nakshatra is to such an extent, it has a say to give information about your overall life. You do not, after knowing someone's Moon Nakshatra, I can assure you, you can make very flawless 10 predictions very clearly. You do not even have to look what the ascendant is or where the 10th lord has gone. So this is the kind of power which your Moon Nakshatra holds. So yes guys, after this, curious for knowledge, wisdom, straight shooter with their words and speech. So when it comes down to the usage of their words, they will be very straightforward. So very straight shooter with their words and speech. They are very tender hearted and they are very helpful. Next point is that they are very fond of big cars and big houses, inclined towards recognition in society or in public. So whatsoever talents they have, they want to be respected, acknowledged and recognized for that, and they generally end up getting respected. They contribute a lot towards formation of religious institutions, like all those people who contribute towards the development of church, gurudwara, temple and all. So the energy of this nakshatra holds this potential capacity to in whichever form contribute in that direction. Apart from that, they are little bit sensual, but not to the extent of getting into illegitimate relationship. So they are sensual, but they refrain from illegitimate relations. So that sort of sensuality only gets experienced within their own matrimonial bond only with the partner they are committed to. There is a potential to have exceptional and jubilant success in the whole family. Like this could be a child which is born with exceptional destiny that he is going to uplift the whole family. Like there is a family which have 2-3 generations who have been suffering with the issues of debts or poverty, but the birth of this child can actually make the whole family come out of the clutches of poverty. So yes, they have this potential to have exceptional and jubilant success in their whole family lineage. They are very good in the efficient time management, and they are always on a lookout for new opportunities. Now guys, the last nakshatra for today is the Ashlesha nakshatra. Now guys, I'm little bit confused and surprised. Now this is an open platform for learning, but like the way many people only talk about the negative qualities, attributes of the Ashlesha nakshatra. Now definitely the last padas of the nakshatra of the Ashlesha, they start carrying more of the qualities of the Gandhant. But still after that, like one of my very good childhood friend, he's Ashlesha, and I did not see him as toxic and negative the way it has been explained in these spiritual like our astrological books. So if this is what your Moon Nakshatra is, or you know someone very closely, so whatsoever your findings have been, please write it in the comment section. So here I'm only focusing on the Moon Nakshatra to be Ashlesha. So like the way all the time, like the way a snake, a coiled snake is spitting poison, so all the time they are spitting anger, dominating others through bursting sound. Like the way there is one sort of sound or noise which the energy of the Adra create, but Ashlesha has got more to do with trying to dominate or bully others. Very irascible temperament, like very easy and quick to get angry or get annoyed or irritated. Either very small eyes or tendency to make the eyes very small while noticing someone or looking at someone. They are very cruel, strict and ruthless in their behavior. Now definitely it will manifest more if you are in a leadership role. Addicted to a certain specific form of habit. This could be smoking, this could be drinking, but addicted to a certain habit. Tendency to give only when praised. Like if you want to get any of the work done through a Moon Ashlesha person, you need to first kind of do little bit buttering, cajole them, or you need to praise them. Different in personal and public life. Now this is something which has been written in many astrological texts, that their persona which they possess, the personality which they carry in their public life, is completely in contradiction with their private self. So different in personal and public life, tendency to waste time and money in unproductive avenues, and tendency to torment. Next point is generally when it comes down to discipline, this is one area where these natives suffer a lot. Like the way moon being in the Hasta can make you very strictly timetable oriented, but in case of moon being in the Ashlesha, they generally struggle around the discipline. So no discipline, purity and rules regulation in eating as well. Being ungrateful, the way it has been written that they're very forgetful of favors bestowed upon them. And lastly guys, certain more points. Tendency to deceive very cleverly, usually being outspoken but very calm in the face of threat. Being a sponge, it has been seen that these natives, like the way I guess there was the show 2.5 Men, the character of that Alan guy. So the way it has been mentioned in our astrological books as well, like a chipku. So being a sponge, secretive, little bit sneaky, timid from inside but pretending to be boastful, fearless on outside. Like this could be the trait of the Mirkshira as well. If moon is strong because of Tithi, Var, house placement and conjunction with strong well placed planets, native lives the life like a king, with authority, with all sort of amenities and comforts around him. So yes guys, this was just a basic video in which we covered nakshatra from the very first cycle of the 27 nakshatra. 27 nakshatra, which can be divided into 3 cycles. So we covered the first cycle. In the next video, we will have our discussion on the second cycle, and if there is some peculiar qualities which you have, which I did not cover in this video, with your moon being in that specific nakshatra, please write it in the comment section. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.